This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
The Sheriff's Office and community members continue to look for two missing girls last seen near the Monon High Bridge Trail in Delphi.
A little upset, confused, obviously very distraught, just worried. All I want to do is have the girls get home safe.
The girls were dropped off near the bridge to walk around and hang out. They had made arrangements to be picked up by a family member later in the afternoon. But when it came time for the girls to be picked up, they never showed up.
Getting scared now.
Abigail's mom, Anna Williams, has spent hours worrying, just hoping to hear her little girl is okay.
It's getting cold. Been out a long time. They don't know what time they ate last.
The girls haven't answered their phones since around the time they went missing.
Missing, abducted, we don't know for sure. Cell phone has been pinging around town here. There's a cell phone tower, but the ping was last noted about 5 or 6 hours ago. They say the phone's now dead.
The last Snapchat from one of the girls was from 2:07.
Text, I saw a text where they got delivered, but they never got read.
Very scary situation right now, and I just want her home.
Now many are on an extensive search to find them.
Ravines, ditches, trash cans for phones, any sign of it, girls, and anything we can find to find them.
Deputies, firefighters, and local police are checking every crevice and nook.
Looking for answers, looking for the girls.
But so are others from the community. And many of them say they won't stop looking, even if it takes
Daybreak, fall over with exhaustion. Honestly, I hope they're just hidden up somewhere, scared to be in trouble.
Alexis Moberger, News 18.
At 5 o'clock this morning, the Carroll County Sheriff's Department are setting to regroup and start to search back up for two missing girls. 13-year-old Abigail Williams and Liberty German were reported missing yesterday. The family dropped them off to go hiking near High Bridge. When the girls didn't show up for their arranged pickup time, family and friends started a search. They were last seen yesterday afternoon. Police, sheriffs, firefighters, and the Department of Natural Resources are all involved in the search for those teenagers right now.
But now at 4 o'clock, on the Now Indy, the big question are the two bodies. Are these the two missing teenage girls? This is what I can tell you right now. Police telling me right now that the bodies, at this point, they cannot identify the bodies of being that of Libby German and Abby Williams, the two girls missing since 1 o'clock yesterday. They were walking together along the old Monon Bridge just east of town. They did not meet a relative at their pickup location, so those relatives called police around 5:30. So a search has been going on throughout the day since yesterday. As I show you now these images from Skycam 6 in HD, the investigation, I am told, involves city and state police as well as the FBI.
Basically what we've got, we have found two bodies. Is that the Sugar Creek?
Deer Creek.
Deer Creek, sorry. In Deer Creek, about a mile east of town. We are investigating this as a crime scene. We suspect foul play. We have not made positive identification of the two bodies, so we're not going to be releasing any information on them at this point in time.
It's so sad. I feel terrible for them. I feel terrible for the whole family. It's an awful thing. I feel bad because I feel like, you know, of all places, Delphi is one of the safest places, and now to think something could have happened here in our own town, it's scary.
You know, we have a wonderful trail system here. That's one of the beautiful things about living here, and this is as horrible a thing as could happen to an asset like that for a town and to the children of our town.
Just go out on the trail and never come back.
I think from now on, kids on trails are going to have their moms and dads with them.
We have identified the bodies of the two females that were found out yesterday. The bodies have been positively identified as Abigail J. Williams, 13, of the Delphi area, and Liberty Rose Lynn German, 14, of the Delphi area. The two girls were reported missing on Monday, February 13th. The bodies were discovered about 12:15 on the 14th in the woods just east of town here by volunteers that helped in the search of the children after they were reported missing to the Carroll County Sheriff's Department.
Obviously, the reason we are here today is to give out information in the double homicide of Liberty German and Abigail Williams. On February 13th, Abigail Williams, 13, and Liberty German, 14, went on a hike at the Delphi Historic Trails. On February 13th, they were reported missing later in the afternoon when they failed to return to a pickup location as a family member returned to pick them up from their hike. After organized searches on February 14th, one of those search parties unfortunately found the bodies of the two teens. Evidence in this case has led investigators to believe this is a double homicide, and that's what we're investigating at this time.
Why Libby? Why Abby? Why Delphi? Why Carroll County? Why the region? Why the state? Why even in the nation? I say that because this is a classic example and a clear example that evil lives amongst us. Resources. It's unlikely that any of you will ever see, nor will we ever see or experience again, the level of resources that are attached to this investigation. To the people dressed funny like me and those that represent the law enforcement profession, please understand we're human beings just like you. I'd stand anywhere in the nation with people standing behind me. And I would suggest to you that every time something like this happens, a little piece of us dies as well. But I also want you to understand how committed we are as a collective one, and we will continue. This has been briefed all the way up to the director of the FBI, Director Comey, and Greg Mass is going to talk a little bit about that. I've had an opportunity to speak to my boss, Governor Eric Holcomb, a couple different times about this situation. And every time I do, I see this look that comes over his face, just like yours and this community's. And that's the unfortunate experience of experiencing evil. The poster in front of you. Someone knows who this individual is. Someone knows who this individual is. Is it a family member? Is it a neighbor? Is it an acquaintance? Is it an associate? Or maybe that one guy that lives over at that one place that just kind of not right? Maybe it's his jeans. Maybe it's his jacket or his sweatshirt. Maybe it's his shirt tail. Maybe it's his posture. Maybe it's the right hand in his pocket. As poor as this picture is, somebody knows. And if you're watching, we'll find you. We must keep our resolve. for Libby and Abby, for this community, and frankly, to ensure that good trumps evil. And it will. You're going to hear more in just a minute about what we know. Do not discount the voice that you'll hear. We will stay committed, with resolve very rarely exhibited with human behavior, until this conclusion. Please be patient. Become our partners and communicate with us as often as you can. And now, from a very humble servant, that's the most blessed guy on this planet to represent the profession that I represent, to Abby and Libby. It's my hope and my prayer that you're now experiencing God's promise of eternal peace.
To the members of the community, when I met with our behavioral analysis unit and their expertise and their experience, it is oftentimes even unwitting that a member of the community may have information that is germane to this investigation. And I'd like the community to go back 9 days and go back to the afternoon of February 13th, Monday, February 13th, and just think if you had an interaction with an individual who inexplicably canceled an appointment that you had together, or an individual called into work sick and canceled an important appointment or a social engagement, and at the time gave what would have been a plausible explanation. My cell phone broke, or I had a flat tire on my car. But in retrospect, that excuse no longer holds water. That may be important. Likely so are behavioral indicators that this individual may have exhibited since the afternoon of May 13th. Did this individual travel unexpectedly? Did they change their appearance? Did they shave their beard, cut their hair, change the color of their hair? The superintendent mentioned the clothes that this individual was wearing in the photo. Did they change the way they dress? Did their behavior change? Did their sleep pattern is different now? Did they start abusing drugs or alcohol whereas they would not have? Have they been anxious, nervous, irritable? Have they followed this case and what the media is putting out with a sense that is not normal? Have they had ongoing discussions regarding their whereabouts on that afternoon or thereafter?
A little over 3 weeks ago, February 13th, our girls went missing. On February 14th, they were found victims of a double homicide. This horrible crime has torn a hole in our families that'll never heal. It's the small things that seem to hurt the most. It's just natural to holler for them to come to dinner, or in the mornings to get up and get ready for school. Then expect them to come through the door after school. The silence when we don't hear their voice. Our girls were excited about the upcoming softball season. Just the day before all this happened, they had their equipment out playing catch, working on their batting in the backyard, going to the ball field with Anna to hone their skills for the upcoming season. But they'll never get to play a single inning again. There are too many ways to count how our lives will forever be impacted to share here today. I imagine most people listening that have raised or are raising children know how kids can be. A phrase that was jokingly attached to Libby and our family, from asking her to pick up her shoes, her school backpack, her coat, her first reply would almost always be, "I will, in a minute." We joked with her about this all the time. I believe if she were able to speak, she would ask people, please give her the 1 minute she always asked for. To really study the picture and listen to the audio clip. Someone out there knows this person or persons. He's someone's neighbor, coworker, family member, friend, husband, or acquaintance. Look for someone who's recently changed their appearance, cut their hair, shaved, or started wearing different clothes. Have they changed in some strange manner that just seems a little odd? If you think it could be, but then say, no, he's not like that, go with your initial instinct. Let law enforcement run that information and make that determination. However small it may seem, it is extremely vital to capture every tip we can get. Please, we need your help. Both the girls were heroes. They stuck together. I don't know exactly what happened out there that day, but I imagine there was probably an opportunity for one or both to separate and try to make a break different ways. But those girls loved each other. They were good friends. Neither one of them left each other's side. Both those girls are heroes in my book.
Very uncomfortable feeling. We're a year in, today. I've said before, and I'm confident I'll say again, I hope that one day when we all meet Abby and Libby that they tell us you did well. That's my hope. We cannot allow evil to prevail. Our world is completely out of balance, and we cannot allow that to prevail. It's personal to me because those two young girls were everybody's daughter in this beautiful place that represents the very best of humanity. And look what happened. That's why it's very personal to me. And I just hope that one day I can look into the eyes of a murderer and ask him why. And I believe that we will. So I hope you hear me loud and clear. If you're watching this and you're responsible, today may be your day. It might be tomorrow, but I can guarantee you your day's coming. I don't ever remember having the voice of a person that we think is responsible, or having a sketch of the individual that we believe is responsible. So, if all of you closed your eyes for just a moment and you thought of a family member, but you didn't think of them from the neck up, you would know how they stand and the clothes they wore and their posture. You would know that voice. I would know it if it was my father, just like you would know it if it was yours. Somebody out there knows who this person is. And fortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately, fortunately, we have such a relationship with you that you've kept this front and center. We're seeking the public's help to identify the driver of a vehicle that was parked at the old CPS DCS welfare building in the city of Delphi that was abandoned on the east side of County Road 300 North next to the Hoosier Heartland Highway between the hours of noon to 5 on February 14th, 2017. If you were parked there or know who was parked there, please contact the officers at the command post at the Delphi City building. We are releasing additional portions of the audio recording from that day. Please keep in mind, the person talking is one person and is the person on the bridge with the girls. This is not two different people speaking. Please listen to it very, very carefully. We are also releasing video recovered from Libby's phone. This video has never before been previously released. The video shows a suspect walking on the bridge. When you see the video, watch the person's mannerisms as they walk. Watch the mannerisms as he walks. Do you recognize the mannerisms as being someone that you might know? Remember, he is walking on the former railroad bridge. Because of the deteriorated condition of the bridge, the suspect is not walking naturally due to the spacing between the ties. During the course of this investigation, we have concluded the first sketch released will become secondary as of today. The result of the new information and intelligence over time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the person responsible for the murders of these two little girls. We also believe this person is from Delphi, currently or has previously lived here, visits Delphi on a regular basis, or works here. We believe this person is currently between the age range of 18 and 40, but might appear younger than his true age, directly to the killer. who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight. For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have. We likely have interviewed you or someone close to you. We know that this is about power to you, and you want to know what we know. And one day, you will. A question to you. What will those closest to you think of when they find out that you brutally murdered 2 little girls? 2 children. Only a coward would do such a thing. We are confident that you have told someone what you have done. Or at the very least, they know, because of how different you are since the murders. We try so hard to understand how a person could do something like this to two children. I recently watched a movie called The Shack. And there's also a book that talks so well about evil, about death, and about eternity. To the murderer, I believe you have just a little bit of a conscience left. And I can assure you that how you left them in that woods is not what they're experiencing today. I just want the family to know that when I take my last breath on this earth, I'll be thinking of them. And I can tell you on behalf of the sheriff and the police chief, so many other partners that have stood with us over this period of time, that we will not stop.
Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill.
My name is Sergeant Jeremy Piers, the Public Information Officer with the Indiana State Police out of the Lafayette Post. While investigating the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, detectives with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office and the Indiana State Police have uncovered an online profile named Anthony Schatz. This profile was being used from 2016 to 2017 on social media applications, including but not limited to Snapchat and Instagram. The fictitious Anthony Schatz profile used images of a known male model and portrayed himself as being extremely wealthy and owning numerous sports cars. The creator of the fictitious profile used this information while communicating with juvenile females to solicit nude images, obtain their address, and attempt to meet with them. Pictured on your screen, you'll see images of the known male model and the images of the fictitious profile sent to the underage females. We have already identified the male in these images that were used by Anthony Schatz. The male in the photo is not the person of interest in the investigation. Detectives are seeking information about the person who created the Anthony Schatz profile. Investigators would like any individual who communicated, met, or attempted to meet the Anthony Schatz profile to contact law enforcement by utilizing the tip email, AbbyandLibby@cacoshrf.com. Please provide as much information as you possibly can. For example, when you communicated with Anthony Schatz, how you communicated with the profile, what social media applications the account used, and if Anthony Schatz attempted to meet you or obtain your address. If you have saved images or conversations with Anthony Schatz profile, please attach them to your email. Again, if you have any information, please contact law enforcement by utilizing the tip email, AbbyandLibbyTip@cacoshrf.com. Thank you.
Court documents last week that showed Kagan Klein admitted in February 2017 that he started the fake profile and that he used it to get more than 100 sexual pictures and videos of young girls. That interview happened February 25th, 2017, just 12 days after the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. But I also discovered it would take until August 2020 for Klein to be arrested.
Well, of course I question why, but I also don't have all the information in front of me and the stuff that they were poised, or positioned up against. So I won't question that, at least at this point in time. Now, if I find out something different, I have no problem calling them out. And all those investigators know that, from Doug Carter on down. He knows me, and I have no problem calling them out.
After our reporting, state police issued a statement Monday acknowledging the delay. They say they've conducted dozens of secondary investigations based on information in the murders of Abby and Libby. It goes on to say the information we have, and continue to receive concerning Klein has ebbed and flowed over these last few years, and that once the Indiana State Police presented the criminal case to the Miami County prosecutor in June of 2020, immediate action was taken by both the Indiana State Police and the Miami County Prosecutor's Office, which ultimately resulted in Klein's arrest.
We're following a developing story out of Peru tonight. Indiana State Police searching the Wabash River, and it may be connected to the case surrounding Kagan Klein.
News 8's Cody Adams joins us now live from Peru, where police were searching. Cody.
Yeah, it was here at Wabash River. We're on the bridge right across from the Kelly Avenue Bridge, where ISP was searching earlier today. Our partners, the Murder Sheet podcast, shared photos showing divers in the Wabash River near the nickel plate bridges for motorists and pedestrians. State police has placed flags marking spots in the river where they had been searching. Court records unsealed last week show state police had court permission on August 19th to take Klein out of the Miami County Jail in Peru, but would not specify why. The Murder Sheet reports it was for a search of the river. Court documents also say Klein was in negotiations with prosecutors, leading to a delay in his next court appearance.
A lot more attention being given to that side of the bridge.
Danny Gill says he is on this bridge over the Wabash River a couple times a week. He is documenting the search of the river on his YouTube channel called Famously Unfamous. Gill says over the past 5 weeks, a team of 10 to 15 people from state police have meticulously searched the river. The search started on the west side of the Nickel Plate Bridge and has progressed about 400 yards past. The searchers have placed poles topped with red flags as they move along the river.
Right where you're standing, they set up a tripod, like a surveyor's tripod, and had a guy standing out with like a surveyor's stick, and they marked out each little area.
So and they've surveyed it, right?
They've surveyed it, yes. Took pictures, for crime scene probably.
That was on September 2nd, and later that same day, he did capture video of state police using a drone over the river. Then earlier this week, more eyes in the sky.
Yesterday, a state police helicopter did fly over. It did, I don't know if it was a figure 8 or 2 circles, and then it headed straight south. And I did look it up on Flight Tracker, and it was registered Indiana State Police.
The search began around August 19th. That's the same time that court records show Keegan Klein was released to the custody of state police. In the order originally sealed to the public, it did not specify the exact reason, and state police would not comment on why to iTeam8. 2 court filings last month by Klein's lawyers say that he is exploring other legal options and is in negotiation with the prosecutor. But the Murder Sheet podcast reports Klein was present for his search of the river. I went to Klein's father's house, it is not far from the bridge, hoping that he might share some insight in the search. No one answered the door.
Tonight, police confirmed that the search is over, but the big question still looms. Is it connected to the murders of Abby and Libby in Delphi? iTeam8's Richard Essex is on the case for us again tonight.
A spokesperson for the Indiana State Police told me that the search of the Wabash River has concluded. This is the first time the state police has actually acknowledged that they were searching, but they wouldn't say what they were looking for.
We had sources who did tell us that it was Delphi related.
As of today, police have not announced any arrests associated with the Delphi murders. Keegan Klein is due in court in late October on 30 child pornography charges.